Godspeed to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud,
Yes, the USA.
Thank you. And a very special hello to CPAC. It's been a long time. We've loved being back, and it's hotter than ever. This place is packed. You got to see outside. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's happening. And a friend is here from Argentina, and a friend is here from Poland. Stand up. Great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. We used to have warmongers and corrupt special interests who drained our wealth, attacked our liberties, obliterated our borders, and sucked our country dry. Not any longer. But on November 5th, we stood up to all the corrupt forces that were destroying America. We took away their power. We took away their confidence. They lost their confidence. You ever watch? They lost their confidence. What's so next to what? And we took back our country.
Nice to watch.
And we must be doing something right because we've got the highest poll numbers that I've ever had and that any Republican president has ever had.
That's right.
And our approval rating is now the highest ever across all demographics. Rasmussen just came out at 56%, Insider Advantage 56, RMG Research 57%, and we have many polls in the mid-60s, one at 71%. We like that, 71. And according to YouGov, a big deal, 70% of Americans believe that what we are doing is right and we are keeping our promises. That's all we're doing when you think is keeping our promises. That's all we had to do. And their promises weren't worthwhile to go and vote for. They love men playing in women's sports, open borders, little things like that. But don't tell them. Don't tell them. Keep it quiet. We'll tell them about a week before the next election. Now keep it quiet. Let them think it's a great thing what they're doing. You saw Maine yesterday, right? The governor of Maine.
Yeah.
She's fighting to keep men in women's sports. You ever see what happens to a woman when a woman boxes a man who transitioned to woman? Did you ever see what happens? It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Let her do that fight. Let them all do that fight. Because I think that's about a 90-10 issue, and I can't figure out who the 10% are. Nobody can. So today I want to say thank you to all of the incredible patriots of CPAC and all of the incredible patriots in our country. 77 million, and it's actually much more than that because despite that they cheated like hell. It was just too big to rig. It was too big to rig. 77 million. Remember you used to go, I said, look, we're leading in the polls by a lot. Don't believe the polls, just go and vote. You gotta vote, we gotta make it too big to rig. And they tried, but it was too big to rig. One of the great statements, we love it. Because everybody wanted voted. We fought through hell together, but in the end we achieved the great liberation of America. We're liberating our country right now. We're doing all these things that you're reading about. We're liberating our country. I first spoke to this gathering 14 years ago, and I won your straw poll. I didn't know anything about a straw poll. They took this big straw poll, and I won by like 27 points. And I figured, that's good. Maybe I should keep doing it, and I did. And I became president. Isn't that great?
Yes, thank God.
Who would think?
I knew you were
But
going to
he
be a
became
president before.
too. He's a MAGA guy too. Make Argentina great again, right? Make Argentina great again. I kept hearing about this man. I kept hearing about this man in beautiful Argentina, and it is beautiful, but boy, did it have inflation. Inflation made it less beautiful. I hear you're doing fantastic. We were very proud of you, actually. And thank Argentina. Thank you very much. Great honor to have you. But now it's my honor to address you for the first time as your 47th President of the United States.
Welcome. Thank you for being president.
Great honor. I want to begin by thanking Matt and Mercedes Schlapp for the incredible job they do, and everyone they put together. They put together an amazing team, the American Conservative Union, for organizing this event. You have some big players here. Senator Ted Cruz, Eric Schmidt, Jim Banks of Indiana. Where's Eric? Where is Eric? Hello, Eric. You can see Eric anywhere. He's right in the back of the room. He stands up. They're all good. These are great people. Representatives Riley Moore, James Comer, Harriet Hagerman, Byron Donalds. Our great Attorney General, she's going to be great, Pam Bondi. I don't know where she is. So many people. So many people. Secretary Doug Burgum. Secretary Chris Wright. Oh, he's going to get that energy out of the ground. Secretary Scott Turner. Our next ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik, who just gave a great speech, by the way.
Right.
A very good friend of mine. Is this guy Central Casting, though? Tom Holman. Is he Central Casting?
Interesting.
Where is that? I love Tom. I love that. How can I love a guy like that? But I do. He's doing a great job. Thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you. Arkansas Governor Sarah Sanders. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. And Pennsylvania Attorney General Dave Sunday. I love that name. We're also honored to be joined by President Duda of Poland, who's a fantastic man and a great friend of mine. And we got 84% of the Polish people that voted for us, so you must be doing something right, huh? Hanging out with Trump. And again, President Milei of Argentina, thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a great guy. And the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico. Robert, thank you, Robert. Thank you. Nice to see you. The leader of the UK Reform Party, who, by the way, did really well in that last election. I've been his friend for a long time, and I wasn't sure, am I supposed to be his friend or not? But it never mattered to me if he did well or not. I always liked him, but it's easier to like him when he got the kind of votes he got. He took it by storm, but they say he's going to do even better this time. Nigel Farage. Where is Nigel? Thank you, Nigel. Thank you. What a great guy. The leader of Spain's Vox Party, Santiago Obiscal. Thank you, Santiago. Thank you very much. I thought that was you. Thank you very much. Great job you're doing. And a friend of mine, Eduardo Bolsonaro of Brazil, the Chamber of Deputies.
Chambers.
Thank you. Thank you. Say hello to your father. Thank you very much. Great family. Great gentleman and your great family. And our great First Lady, Melania, is watching us right now on television. So give her a hand. Give her a hand. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, she's going to be happy. That's so nice. We love our First Lady, everybody does. With the help of so many incredible supporters here today, we're going to forge a new and lasting political majority that will drive American politics for generations to come. I think we're going to do fantastically well in the midterm. In theory, the one that wins the presidency does not do well in the midterms, but I think this is going to be changing. We're at a level, I don't think we've been at this level maybe ever as the Republican Party. We're a bigger, better, stronger party than ever before. More people in our party than ever before. But the people have given us a resounding mandate for dramatic change in Washington, and we are going to deliver it. We're going to use it, and we're going to make America great again by using it. So it's going to be something. But think of it, at the presidential level, we won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We swept all 7 swing states: Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, all by great margins. We won 85% of all of the counties in America. That means that map was red. Did you ever see the map? Did you see the certified map? Where is it? I want to see a certified map. It's all red. You can hardly find the blue. Think of this. They won 525 counties, and we won 2,600 counties. It's the biggest margin ever recorded. And incredibly, for the first time ever, all 50 states shifted toward the Republican Party. It's never happened. So it was indeed too big to rig. We won the largest number of African American votes in Republican history, by far. We won the largest number of Hispanic American votes, any Republican. Hispanic Americans, we love you. The energy, the brilliance of Hispanic Americans. We won all of the cities and towns along the Texas border, whereas before I ran, we won none. We never used to win any. I got a call from our great governor of Texas, who said, President, you just won every single town along the Texas border to Mexico. I said, oh, is that good, guy? But that was when I first heard about it, actually. Our party has become the proud voice of hardworking citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And I think one of the main reasons, not that we're conservative or not that we're anything else, we are the party of common sense. It's about common sense, right? It's all about common sense. Over the past month, we've confirmed an all-star team of warriors, patriots, visionaries, and put the America First agenda into action. I see Doug Burgum sitting right over there. He was so good. I looked at him. I said, I got to have him here. I got to have him. He was a great governor. He's involved with a thing called energy. He's got the Department of Interior, and Chris Wright has the Department of Energy. So Chris has no energy, and Doug has all of the energy. Chris has more interior, but he doesn't have. So I merged them. So now you have an energy guy, and you have the guy with all the energy, and you're going to drill, baby, drill, aren't you, huh? Drill, baby, drill. And Catherine, stand up. This wife is incredible. She is such an incredible woman. Incredible woman. You got very lucky, Doug. Good to be successful, isn't it, Doug? incredible woman. He's an incredible guy. In addition to the great cabinet secretaries we have here today, we confirm Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to end the woke insanity and rebuild our military. Pete is fantastic. Thank you. To stop the weaponization of federal law enforcement, I know about that, I think, better than any human being on earth. This week we swore in a new director of the FBI, somebody that everybody wanted, Kash Patel. Kash is great. He's a popular guy. He went through with the blessing of a lot of good people too. I'll tell you, it was great. To end the politicalization of our intelligence agencies, we confirmed Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who is something. Very respected, highly respected. And to make America healthy again, we confirm Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Great guy. We need him. And you know, there's a number on autism, isn't there, with children, autism. And you go back 15 years, it was from 10 to 20,000 dead. Like 1 in 10 to 20,000. Some say 10, some say 20, but it was in that percent, that's a big percentage. Now it's 1 in 36 babies.
Oh my God.
1 in 36. Think it was 1 in probably 20,000 babies. Now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong.
Yeah, because of all that freaking shot that they
Bobby is
give
going
away.
to find it. Working with Dr. Oz, by the way. Working with Dr. Oz. Together we've achieved more in 4 weeks than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We made a lot of progress. I heard O'Reilly last night say Donald Trump for the first 4 weeks is the greatest president ever in the history of our country. That was O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly is all right. You know who he said second was? George Washington. I beat George Washington. I love beating George Washington. Thank you, Bill. On our first day in office, we declared a national emergency at our southern border. After years of politicians using our military to defend foreign borders while leaving our country defenseless,
right.
helpless, we
That's what I'm
deployed
pissed about
a
too.
group of people, active duty troops, to defend our border and repel the invasion of our country. This was an invasion.
Our country is
You know,
being
we had a
invaded
great
while
first
we're
term,
sending our
a really
troops
great
overseas.
first term. Called it an invasion, and we had great numbers,
Crazy.
but now we have the best numbers we've ever had. We've never had numbers like this. We've
Bullshit.
done it all in 4
Spending
weeks.
our money,
Think of it.
tax
That was
earned,
Tom
pay
Homan,
money,
Christy
our
Long,
money.
The whole group. When day one I ended catch and release, I reinstated remain in Mexico when I signed an order that will end birthright citizenship for the children of illegal aliens.
Yep.
Because it wasn't meant for these children. It wasn't meant for people that escaped or invaded, came into our country illegally.
We still
It was
our
meant for
social
the children of
security.
slaves. Because when it was done, many
Not even
years
paying
ago,
anything.
it was during a very tough period in this country's history, and that was meant for the children of slaves. I wish people would understand that so they could get this thing approved, and we don't have billions and billions of people coming into our country and they shouldn't be here. This week I also canceled temporary protected status for migrants from Haiti. They're pouring into our country. Pouring in.
Yeah. You don't even believe what you believe.
I weren't
in.
elected president, there'd be nobody in Haiti anymore. They were pouring in at levels from other countries too. All over Africa, the Congo, all over South America. And they were coming in from prisons and mental institutions and insane asylums, jails, and gang members and got to see gang members, drug lords, people that are drug addicted. They were sending them all into our ridiculous, very stupid Biden open border. Our borders are with Kamala. I haven't said that name in a while. I haven't said that name. No, I haven't said that name in a while. Kamala. I'll bet nobody knows her last name. Nobody ever knows her last name. Even during the campaign, you'd have to say Kamala. It's strange, you know, a little different name. Kamala. Because her last name was Harris. I used to say Senator Harris. Nobody knew who the hell I was talking about. So I had to go Kamala. But think of it, I was beating Joe badly, really badly. And they changed him. I'm the only one that ever had to beat two people. I had to beat two. How to beat two. We beat two. I didn't beat. You beat. You beat two people. No, he was doing bad. That's like the great Dana White. He has a fight, and one guy's doing really badly, so when they take him out, they put another guy in the fight. The same guy that I had that. Never happened before. A lot of things we do never happened before. You ever notice that? We're the first in everything. So we beat two candidates. They said, who do you run against? Well, we ran against Biden, and we ran against Kamala Harris. But illegal border crossings now have plummeted by almost 100%. The border czar never called the border. Never called the great people of the border. They have unbelievable. I called them so much they couldn't take my calls. They hated me. But then they became to love me. You know why?
She was being held by puppeteers.
You have to call them on occasion. How are we doing today?
Corrupt
How are we
puppeteers.
doing? You have to call. You call the right guys. I became friends. You know, the Border Patrol endorsed me. And these people, you have no idea. They weren't supposed to, because you're not supposed to do that. I don't think you're allowed to do it. Actually, they did it anyway. They said, this is crazy. But these are great people, and ICE, and our general law enforcement, and by the way, our great, great firemen and firewomen, too. They were great. They all endorsed us. With the police, we got high 90s in terms of, and many of them were unionized, you know. We have a young lady who's right now going for the Department of Labor. She tends to be a little bit on the slightly left of center. And everybody said, why did I do that? I said, you know why I did that? Because unions like her and labor likes her and a lot of people like her, and she's very solid, very strong, she's going to do the right thing. But they all voted for us. They didn't vote for me, they voted for us. We got the teachers, we got the firefighters, we got the police, we got the auto workers were so great. We had tremendous support, so I think it's nice to give them a person in the center. Because that's what she's going to be very good, I think. But a lot of people say, why'd you do that? I said, because I want to do something nice for these people that voted for me. Oh, gee, what a great political move that was. Now they're all saying, what a great political move. No, it's all common sense. Remember that. John O'Brien was fantastic. The whole group, they were great. Over the past few weeks, we've begun the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a very moderate man, but he was very strong in that. He didn't like people running into our country and taking over our country. Okay, I had torches. I don't know if you had. Couldn't stand it. Don't get angry. Donald, don't get angry. I couldn't stand it. Watching these people come in from jails and
No shit.
mental institutions and the worst criminals in the street, gang members being dropped off in buses and bussed into our country. I couldn't stand it. So I said, I'm going to run for president again. And now we don't have that problem. Now we don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have that problem anymore. We now have the best border we've ever had. And by the way, if they can ever find my world's favorite chart ever in history, I'll show you what it was when I left. And now it's even slightly better. Can you drop that chart, you think? I don't know. I never tell them about this, but they used to drop it like magic. They can't, they'll drop it. Who the hell knows? But it's my favorite chart. My favorite chart in history. We're liberating communities like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, that have been occupied by illegal alien criminals from all over the world. We're rescuing the Americans whose jobs have been stolen, whose wages have been robbed, and whose way of life has been absolutely
That's right.
destroyed.
The people got
And under the
fired
Trump
because of this.
administration, our country
People
will not
doesn't
be
get
turned into a
promoted because
dumping
of this
ground. We're not going
bullshit.
to do it. We're going to have a great country
People need
again.
to
It's going to
go.
happen soon. A lot sooner than you think, and we're going to have so much money coming in from tariffs. Oh. You're going to say, your senators and your congressmen are going to say, please, sir, please, you're making us look so bad. We have so much money coming in. I didn't know this was going to happen. Please don't do this to us. We look very bad. But they're great. They're doing work. They're the Republican senators. They're sticking together. The Republican congressmen and women are sticking together. Every once in a while you have one that wants a little action, something. I don't know what it is. It's so sad to see. I just hate to see it. I hate to see it, but they're sticking together. One thing about the Democrats, they have rotten, horrible policy, the worst policy in history. They stick together. We have great policy, but sometimes they don't stick, but they've been sticking for us. They've been sticking. And I think the speaker and the leader have done a fantastic job. That's Thune and Johnson, and I think they've done, two guys really working hard at doing it. They're really doing a great job. But we have a lot to stick with. We have a lot to stick together for, because what we've done has never been done before. Nobody's ever seen anything like this, and nobody's ever seen 4 weeks like we've had. Especially the 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks. You know, that's like if you golf, when you sink that first 4-footer in the first hole, it gives you confidence on the next hole, you sink another one. Now you go into that third hole and you can't, and by the time you get to the 5th hole, you feel you can't miss, right? Like a baseball player, he gets up and he hits the first one, and then the second at bat, he hits that one. And you know, you get, and we have great confidence, and they've lost their confidence, as I said. They really lost their confidence. I watched them, they're really screwed up. I watched this MSNBC, which is a threat to democracy, actually. They're stone cold, but they're stuttering. They're all screwed up. They're all mentally screwed up. They don't know what. Their ratings have gone down to 2. I don't even talk about CNN. CNN's sort of like, I don't know, they're pathetic, actually. But MSNBC was mean. Their ratings are absolutely down. This Rachel Maddow, what does she have? She's got nothing. Nothing. She took a sabbatical where she worked 1 day a week. They paid her a lot of money. She gets no ratings. I should go against her in the ratings, because I'll tell you, she gets no ratings. All she does is to talk about Trump. All different subjects. Trump this, Trump that. But these people are really, I mean, they lie. They shouldn't be allowed to lie every night. They are really a vehicle of the Democrat Party. They should be paying. Is that Gordon? Yes, is that Gordon? The great Gordon Brown? Is that Gordon? Stand up, Gordon. Wow. We have everybody here today. Thank you very much. How am I doing on China? Am I doing good? Am I doing good on China? Tell you one thing. Nobody's ever done like I've done on China. Nobody ever let people know what was happening with respect to China. And I happen to like President Xi, and I have tremendous respect for the people of China. I love China. But we've been treated very unfairly by China and many other countries. And we're not being unfairly treated anymore. We had that down to a science in the first term, and then they lost it. And we lost over $1 trillion to China this last year under Biden, Crooked Joe Biden. What do we like better, Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe? Ready? Ready? Crooked Joe or Sleepy? Ready? Crooked Joe.
Crooked Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Gotta stay with Crook. He had one ability that I didn't have. He could do something that I couldn't do. I don't say that because he's a horrible golfer. Remember, he challenged me during the debate to a golf match. He said, I'm a 6 handicap. I said, you're not a 36 handicap. He said he's a 6. And then he said, well, I'm 8. Remember? I said, that was quick. Picked up 2 strokes. He said, no, I'm an 8. But he's not a 36 handicap. But he had one ability that was amazing. He could go with cameras on him, television, fake news on him, probably because he knows they wouldn't cover it badly. You know, they covered him as well as you can cover him. How the hell can you cover the guy well? But he had this incredible ability. He could barely walk in the sand. Somebody thought he looked great in a bathing suit. And he'd walk in the sand pulling a thing that weighed about 6 ounces. You know those aluminum? See, aluminum's very good. It's meant for children and very old people to lift, right? So he would put it down, and he'd put it down, and he'd fall into it, and he'd immediately fall asleep in front of the people. I do. That's the only thing. I could never do it. No, he was Sleepy Joe, but he was crooked as hell. You know, there's no question. He was a sleepy, crooked guy. Terrible president.
I don't think somebody
He was the
wants to
worst
name their
president in the
kids
history
as
of our country.
Joe.
I'll say it.
No. Stay away from Joseph.
Jimmy
Joe,
Carter
David,
passed
because
away
everybody's
recently, and he passed away a happy man. He was a happy man when he passed away, because he said that it's not even close. Joe was the worst, and believe me, I have to clean up the mess. I'm cleaning up the mess, and it is a mess on the border with inflation. To go over every single thing he touched turned to shit. Okay. Everything. True.
Lord. The thing he passed turned to shit.
It's true. That's true. Now Franklin Graham's angry at me. You know that. Franklin wrote me a letter. He said, I love your speeches. I love them so much. But they'd be better if you would never use foul language. And I told him, I said, Franklin, you know, Franklin Graham's a great guy, by the way, does a great job. The son of the great Billy Graham, right? But I said to Franklin, you know, sometimes you need it for emphasis. And he said, no, it'd be even better if you wouldn't use any bad language. That's not really a terrible word, you know. But that's a much more appropriate word. What word would I use to describe? What word could I use? So, and we have to be truthful too, so you know. All countries are now taking their illegal aliens back, even those that stated strongly, we will never take them back. Don't ever send them to us. But they said that during the Biden administration. They never said it during my administration. Venezuela's taking them back. Colombia's taking them back. Remember, Colombia said, we will not take them back, he said. And within about 13 minutes, I think, we would love to take them back. In fact, we will send our planes to pick them up. Remember? And they said, what happened? What happened? And you see these Venezuelan planes loaded up with some real nice people. You wouldn't have wanted to be the pilot on any of those planes. But they know we're not playing games, and just this week I officially designated bloodthirsty cartels and murderous gangs as foreign terrorist organizations, something which Biden didn't want to do, and nobody wanted to do. True. The full might and power of the federal government now be dedicated to eradicating MS-13, Nicaragua. That's the Venezuelan prison gangs. These are very nice fellows. The only thing good about them is they make our criminals look like nice people. It's true. Remember when they used to say, people that come in from foreign countries are nice people. These are wonderful people. These are good people. They're not murderers. They're not terrible. These people make us look like me. Okay? You know the Hells Angels? They're among the nicest people on earth when you compare them to these thugs. And the Hells Angels actually love our country, if you can believe that. They actually do.
Yeah.
But their members and their leaders in the United States will be hunted down, talking about MS-13. They're hunting them down. We removed tens of thousands MS-13, training the Iraq War. Rooted out, arrested, and expelled from our soil like the savage monsters that they are. We don't have anybody coming up from Argentina. Nobody's coming up from Argentina to facilitate the mass removal of criminal aliens. I also issued an executive order to make available the full capacity and detention. We're going to use Guantanamo Bay. We have a detention facility that's actually massive. Nobody even knew it existed. Holds thousands of prisoners. We never used it. For 4 long years, you had a president who put illegal aliens up in penthouse suites in beautiful hotels on Park Avenue, or in Madison Avenue, or on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Now you have a president who is stamping their ticket to Gitmo on a one-way trip back to the places from which they came. Wonderful places. Big difference. My administration is also moving swiftly to save the U.S. economy from the train wreck of inflation and worse that Joe Biden created. I withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord. It was a disaster. I terminated the Green New Scam. Greatest hoaxes ever played on this country is the Green New Scam. We spent trillions of dollars on this nonsense, and this is a total hoax. It really set back our country, I want to tell you, monetarily and every other way. And I canceled Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, where everybody has to have an electric. And if you want an electric car, get an electric car. If you want a gasoline-powered car, if you want to have a hybrid, you get it. The only thing you can't do is a hydrogen-powered car. You know why? They said it really works great, but when it doesn't work, you never find the body. It's a bad. That's a bad sign. You know, when it doesn't work, they found the body on a tree about 250 yards up the road. It's seriously bad. So we'll leave hydrogen out of it for a little while, I think, or maybe permanent. I'd say permanently. To crush inflation by slashing spending, I imposed an immediate federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, and a foreign aid freeze. We're given to countries that hate us. We're giving billions and billions of dollars to countries that hate us. And I signed an order creating the Department of Government Efficiency. You probably haven't heard of it. Which is now waging war on government waste, fraud, and abuse. And Elon is doing a great job. He's doing a great job. We love Elon, don't we? It's that guy, he's a character. With his son X. We love X. He's the only one kid get away. His son's really named X. He's the only one can get away with naming his son X. We ever did it to say, you're crazy. But he's great. He's doing a great job, and he doesn't need this. He doesn't need it, but he wants to see, he's a patriot. People said, well, what official position does he have? He said, patriot. They didn't know. They said, that was good. He's a patriot. Here are some of the flagrant scams that, as an example, they've spent money on, and we've been able to recapture for a large dose of it at least. $520 million for a consultant to, look at it, $520 million. $520 million. You know, when I hire consultants and they just take advantage of me, it's a horrible thing to watch. When I give them $25,000, I feel I'm overpaying. You guys got $520 million. Environmental, social, governance, and investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and socially responsible behavior in Colombia. This is Colombia, South America, not Columbia University. Of course, that might be worse, based on their actions. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows where, who are they, where do they come from? Just sedentary migrants. Nobody even knows what a sedentary migrant is. If they were sedentary, they wouldn't be a migrant, right? They wouldn't move. No, they wouldn't move. They'd stay in the same place. Right, Doug?
Common sense
42
really
members for
does debunk a
social
lot of
and
shit, doesn't it?
behavior change in Uganda.
Oh, I love them.
$10
It's
million
just
for
on it.
Mozambique medical male circumcisions. Why are we going to Mozambique to do circumcisions? It's a lot of money. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. Here's a beauty. $486 million to a consortium of elections and political process strengthening ideas, of which $22 million goes to inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova. $29 million
I have
goes
no
to
idea where this
strengthen
country
the
comes from.
political
All our
landscape
taxes
and
is
help
going
them
that
out
freaking thing. Here we are
so that they can
slaving,
vote for a radical left
working
dominant
so
system
hard,
instead.
and they're spending our money, our tax money, to this kind of bullshit.
Nobody in this room would be.
Can't believe it.
$20 million for fiscal federalism
Well, we're working
and
two
$19
jobs.
million for
American people
biodiversity in
have to
Nepal.
work two jobs just to try to
$47
catch
million
up,
for improving
and all these
learning
fuckers
outcomes in
getting
Asia.
all it free.
$18 million for helping India.
Super.
With its
Oh my
elections.
God,
Why
that
the
just
hell-
make
why
American
don't we
people
just go to
boil,
open
blood,
ballots and
blood
help us
boils.
with their elections, right? Voter ID. Wouldn't that be nice? We're giving money to India for
Like that.
electricity.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Take
liking.
advantage of us.
Thank
We're one of the highest
you.
tariff nations in the world. We try and sell something.
I
we have
just
a 200%
recording my
tariff.
memory, my
Then we're giving them a lot
my
of money to help
president.
them with their election. $32 million
Our president,
for the
actually.
Prague Civil Society Center. $14 million for social cohesion in Liberia. $9.7 million to develop a cohort Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. Think of that. Millions of dollars for sex change operations in Guatemala. $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. They put on a little play on the street. $20 million! You could do it on Broadway and have $19 million left over. No, it's a scam. They get kickbacks, all sorts of things. It's a scam. Who ever heard of it? Think of it, $20 million Sesame Street. Play.
Oh shit.
We're also uncovering outrageous incompetence and fraud in the Social Security. We have, look, let's assume that people, generally speaking, in our case, and everybody in this room, we're going to all live way over 100, but this is a little ridiculous. There's not too many people are going over 100. Everybody, hopefully, in this room will. But there are in the Social Security ranks and files. And what we're doing now is finding out, do they get paid? Do they get paid? In other words, is somebody taking all of this money? So they have over 100 to 109, 4.7 million Social Security numbers. Think of that, for people whose age is over 100. 3.6
Letting us
million
know what the hell's going
people
on.
whose age is over 100.
I'm kinda getting.
Why was it okay for
3.47 million people who are
Yeah, I
over
know.
120 years of age. 3.9
Because they have something to
million
hide.
people whose age
Sleepy Joe
from
is sleeping
130
while
to
they're
139
stealing.
years of age. 3.5 million whose age goes from 140
I'm getting
to
weak just listening to this
149
bullshit
years
that
old.
all these people are
1.3
stealing from
is
us.
coming down now slowly.
Working so hard
No, it's
for
all a
someone
scam.
else.
The whole
Steal our
thing.
tax money.
Yeah. 1.3 million people. 1.3
Sue
who are
them.
over 150 years of age. And over 130,000 people are listed on our Social Security rolls as over 160 years of age. Now the final is at 1,039, so now we're down into reasonable numbers. 1,039 people are listed between the ages of 220 years old to 229. And
Oh,
we have one person who's listed at 241 years of age. And we have one person listed at 360 years of age, an all-time record, and our country's 250 years old. So that person's substantially older than our country. Under our administration, there will be no tolerance for Social Security fraud.
That's
We
up.
will not allow anyone to cheat our seniors.
We need to find that person.
We'll do that. We'll
He's
be
the oldest
prosecuted
person
by
in
them,
America.
Bondi, and others.
He deserves to be recognized.
We're also going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon.
Woohoo! I want to see that too.
Would anybody like to join us?
Yeah, I want to go.
Because we want to see if the gold is still there. We want to. Wouldn't that be terrible? We open up this Fort Knox. It's just solid granite that's 5 feet thick. The front door, you need 6 musclemen to open it up. I don't even think they have windows. Wouldn't that be terrible if we opened it up and there was no gold there? So we're going to open those doors, we're going to take a look, and if there's 27 tons of gold, we'll be very happy. I don't know how the hell we're going to measure it, but that's okay. We want to see lots of nice, beautiful, shiny gold at Fort Knox. Don't be totally surprised. We open the door, we'll say, there's nothing here, they stole this too. We have a very corrupt group of people in this country, and we're finding them out. We're removing all of the unnecessary, incompetent, and corrupt bureaucrats from the federal workforce. That's what we're doing. And under the buyouts, we offered federal employees more than 75,000 federal bureaucrats, think of that, have voluntarily agreed to surrender their taxpayer-funded jobs. We want to make government smaller, more efficient. We want to keep the best people, and we're not going to keep the worst people.
That's right.
And you know, we're doing another thing. If they don't report for work, we're firing them. In other words, you have to go to office. Right?
Good.
Right? Look at her.
That's right. Time to
If
go
you
back.
don't report to work, you know, that's another scam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who the hell, if I'm staying home, I'm going to, let's see, my golf handicap would get down to very low number. You'd be shocked if I told you the real number. But I would be so good that I'd try and get on tour. I would be so good. I'd call up, I'd say, listen, I'm really working here. Where am I from? Where am I from? Either that or, in many cases, they have second jobs while they're getting paid by us. So one of the reasons they're leaving is because they don't want to have to show that. And we're demanding to see that information. How many jobs have you had? Who paid you while you were working for the government?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and we are demanding that people, as they work for the government, have to show up and sit in an office and do their job, right?
Right. That's right.
And we've also effectively ended the left-wing scam known as USAID, the agency's name. Has been removed from its former building, and that space will now house agents from Customs and Border Patrol. Beautiful.
Woohoo.
And at the ultra-left CFPB, which was terrible. So many people have been hurt by that. I used to get calls from lending officers, from owners of small banks, and they were almost crying. What they did to those people, they destroyed them, put them out of business. It was established by Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Does anyone know it? Remember the Pocahontas scam? I'm an Indian, therefore I'm entitled to be a senator. I'm an Indian, she said. Could we see proof of that, please? She said, well, the only proof I have is my mother said I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's no good, right? Remember she went out? I really spooked that day. Remember she went out, she couldn't take it anymore. She was going to Pocahontas, Pocahontas. Everyone knew she was not an Indian. I had more Indian blood than her, and I have no Indian blood. I'd be honored to, but I don't have any, but I had more than her. You remember she went out and she had a blood? And it came back and she was so happy. Because it said 1,024. That means everybody in this room had more than her. But because there was even the scant, in other words, 1 million years ago, something could have happened. And she was so happy that she released it and she got killed. That was the end of her presidential career. She does not like me very much. But she's a very angry person. You notice the way she is? She's always screaming and she's crazy. These people are crazy. The radical left is meaner. I don't know what it is, Doug. They're meaner than us, aren't they? We're like normal people.
That's
we're
right.
smart, we get our word, but we don't go crazy. Of course, they'll take my little rant from 15 minutes ago to take this. He lost control of the stage. He lost control. And they'll have me screaming, having to do with Franklin, before Franklin. He lost control of the stage. These people are bad. They are really sick too. I don't get it. You know, you think they'd want to love our country. They have no ratings anymore. Nobody listens to them. Nobody believes the fake New York Times. Washington Post is doing no business. They're losing all their business. Nobody believes them. But we've escorted the radical left bureaucrats out of the building and locked the doors behind them. We've gotten rid of thousands. I withdrew the United States from the corrupt World Health Organization. I withdrew from the anti-Semitic UN Human Rights Council.
Good.
The council is horrible, and I withdrew from the terror-supporting UN Relief and Works Agency. The UN has such great potential, but now it's run now. It's terrible.
That's
the way
right.
it's run now. We stopped all taxpayer money to
Good.
these corrupt institutions. And by the way, just so who the hell knows? We got to talk about something very important. The war between Russia and Ukraine. People are being killed, mostly young men, mostly Russian and Ukrainian men, at levels you've never seen. Thousands of people are killed. I've spoken to President Putin, and I think that thing is going to end. It's got to end. It's a horrible, horrible thing to watch. I'm dealing with President Zelensky. I'm dealing with President Putin. I'm trying to get the money back that, or secured, because, you know, Europe is given $100 billion. The United States has given $350 billion because we had a stupid, incompetent president and administration. 350. But here's worse. Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing. So I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up. And I'm going to try and get the war settled. And I'm going to try and get all that debt ended. So we're asking for rare earth and oil, anything we can get. But we feel so stupid. Here's Europe. And you know, it affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us, except we don't like to see two things. Number one, how Biden got us into this thing in the first place. Terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same thing, how come we were so far out front? And he didn't know that Europe gets his money back. They did it in the form of a loan. We don't get our money back. We get nothing. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
That's right.
And we will see. But I think we're pretty close to a deal, and we better be close to a deal. Because that has been a horrible situation. It would have never happened if I were president. And by the way, October 7th, Israel would have never happened if I was president. It would have never happened. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah. They had no money
can
to
go
give.
get Hamas.
Everybody knows that. Jewish people in the audience know that.
Freaking
Iran
Hamas
was
is-
broke. They were not giving money around. And when I got out, they took all the sanctions off Biden. And Iran became rich very quickly. With oil, you can become rich very, very quickly. And the rest is history. What a horrible thing. Even though the hostages are coming back, I saw it this morning where we got 6 more back. Biden got none back, by the way, just so you know. None. 0. He would have never gotten any of them back. But they're coming back in pretty bad shape. It's a horrible thing, and many are dead. Many are dead. So we'll see how that all ends up, but it's a horrible thing. But I just want you to know we're working on that. That's a very big part of it. And I don't like talking about it because we're in the middle of negotiations. It's a very, very sad, would have never happened. There was no way. Russia was never going to go in. And they went in because of a lot of reasons. And so many people are dead. Far more people are dead than you're reading about. You know, when they blow up all these cities, all those cities they look like demolition sites. Every single building is down. All of those beautiful golden towers that are 1,000 years old, they're lying on the ground in smithereens, blown to smithereens. There's nothing left of them. They're just lying on the ground, never to be rebuilt again. Not possible to rebuild them again. And all of that heritage is gone. People have done a really horrible job. That would have never, if I were president, 0 chance that would even have been fired. Wouldn't have happened. So sad.
That's right.
To further turbocharge our economy, we've launched the most aggressive deregulation program in any nation's history, and we're also going to be seeking the largest tax cuts in American history. Again, we brought them down, as you know, from close to 40% down to 21%. Now we're bringing them down to 15% if you make your product in the United States of America. We're defending the American worker like never before, and that's why the auto workers and the union workers and the Teamsters and so many others, they supported us, the firemen, the policemen, so many others, whether they were union or non-union, they all supported us. They supported full workers, and they supported us at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Weeks ago, I imposed a 10% tariff on all goods coming from China because of the fact that they're sending fentanyl into our country. Through Mexico, by the way. Not happy with Mexico, or I'm not happy with Canada either. I imposed 25% tariffs on all foreign steel and aluminum, and I will soon impose reciprocal tariffs on any country that charges us. And by the way, reciprocal means they charge us, we charge them, same thing. So nobody can be upset, right? But we have countries charging us 200%, but we charge them nothing. They charge us, we charge them. Our country's going to become rich again, very rich. I always say it's my favorite word in the dictionary. The word tariff is my favorite word in the dictionary. You know, we were the richest relatively from, think of this, from 1870 to 1913. That was our richest because we collected tariffs from foreign countries that came in and took our jobs and took our money, took our everything. But they charged tariffs, and we had so much money, they set up the 1887. Think of that, a long time ago. 1887 Tariff Commission was a commission of very important people to determine where we should spend all of the tremendous vast wealth that we have. We have so much wealth. Wouldn't it be nice today? Of course, now we give it away to transgender this, transgender that. Everybody gets a transgender operation. It's just wonderful. You know, we give it away like the crazy things. But in those days, it was different. It was a different world. It was a different country. But we were very rich because of tariffs. And I get myself in trouble because I say that tariff is my favorite word. And the fake news went crazy. What about God? What about wife and family? What about love? I said, okay, tariff is now my fourth favorite word. I got myself into a lot of trouble with that. You can't believe it. I said, tariff is my favorite word in the dictionary, and I got killed by the fake news. So I say now, it doesn't sound good. Tariff is my fourth favorite word. I go, tariff is my fourth favorite word. That's so terrible, but this way I'm free. I write free, you know. I don't get clobbered by the fake news. But tariffs are also a powerful tool of diplomacy, and all around the world are moving quickly to bring back peace through strength. We have the greatest, you know, I rebuilt our entire military in the first term. We left a lot of it, although a lot of it, but very small, relatively, in Afghanistan. The Taliban has it. You know, they have their parade every year where they take military vehicles and run them up some little street, and like it's their form of a military parade, and it makes me angry when I see that.
Yeah, me too.
When I see that, I get angry.
Me too.
You know, we give
Bullshit.
them, I don't think anyone knows this, we give Afghanistan about $2 or $2.5 billion. Would you know that? For aid. We need aid ourselves. And I'm going to go back and tell them yesterday, I want to look at it, if we're going to give them money, it's okay. But I want them to give us back our military equipment. They're selling it. Doug, would you take that, please? All right? Write something up. No, I want them to give back. If we're going to give them that kind of money, let them give back the military equipment, which they have. They have tanks, trucks, and guns, and goggles. They have goggles. They have night goggles. Better than we have. Brand new right out of the box. It's unbelievable. So I want to do that, and I want the, if we're going to pay them, I want to get that equipment back, okay? Doug can do it. What are the guys? This guy, To him, he's sitting there saying, how the hell did this ever happen, right? Can you believe it? We give them billions of dollars, and we gave them our military equipment. Just tremendous numbers of billions of dollars worth.
The
of
highest
billions and
stupidity of them all
billions.
was
We have
the
a
last
ceasefire in
president.
Gaza, and
of
we're
this
joined
country.
today by several
And he's
survivors
not my
of the
president.
captivity
He
under
will never
Hamas,
be my
including
president.
Noah Argamani
Fuckers.
and Ilana Gretowski. Wow, look at that, how beautiful. What a beautiful group of people. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you're sitting next to a great guy, Sebastian Gorka, who's also now in the administration. From day one, right, Sebastian? He's been a loyalist from day one. We love Sebastian. Thank you very much, Sebastian. Thank you, everybody. That's very nice. Beautiful. We're going to make it work somehow, you know. Doing the best we can. We started. Should have never happened. That's the sad part. Would have never happened. If I were president, and I should have been, if I were president, it would have never happened. But it did so. We're doing the best we can with it. Thank you very much.
The reason why things happen.
Also with us are family members of some individuals who are still hostages, and we will not rest until all of the hostages have been returned back home. Some of them are coming home in very bad condition, and some of them are coming home only as bodies. They're dead. We have a lot of them coming home now. They're dead. And these are largely young people. Young people don't die. Young people are young people. They don't die like this, but they're dead. And the parents come to me and they say, please, sir, could you get my son back? How old is he, sir? My son is dead. It's important, just as important as if that son were alive, to get the body back. It's amazing, right? Amazing. Just as important. Thank you. It's amazing that the parents, the parents are strong. I mean, look, strong. What does strong mean? Strong is their life is ruined. Their business is ruined. That's even people. But they come up to me and it's so important to get the body back. Really. And some are, I'm not sure, they're 80% sure he's dead or she's dead. But they have that little glimmer of hope, and I say, let them have that hope, right? Let them have that hope. But getting the body back is just as important as getting the son back healthy or the daughter back healthy. It's amazing to see when I see the level of intensity and love and sorrow and tragedy. As I said in my inaugural address, it's my hope that my greatest legacy will be as a peacemaker, not a conqueror. I don't want to be a conqueror. Under the Trump administration, every day brings more good news for America. I've ended all of the so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the entire federal government and private sector. And notified every single government DEI officer that their job has been deleted. They're gone. They're fired. You're fired. Get out. You're fired. I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. That was easy. I banned men from competing in women's sports.
Yeah.
And I also proudly banned the use of... Yeah, thank you. We banned the use of puberty blockers, hormone injections, and other chemical and surgical mutilation of your youth. Could you imagine making a speech like this 10 years ago? People would say, what the hell is he talking about, right? This is the sickness that came along with critical race theory and all of that, other things that we had to put up with. And it's all out now. Critical race theory and transgender insanity is all gone from our schools and from our military. And I believe it's gone too. I think we've turned the heads of even the people that if you can believe they're believers. I don't know if they were, but I believe that it's all gone. And I've directed the reinstatement of any service member who was expelled from the armed forces due to the COVID vaccine mandate. They will be returned to their former rank with full back pay. Full back pay. I banned government censorship from your voices and brought back free speech in America. We have free speech. We didn't have free speech. We do have it now, actually. Now, this was a very vicious regime. You know, I was put under investigation more so than the late great Alphonse Capone, one of the great killers of the law. Trump, my father would look down my mother. How the hell did this happen to my boy? This was his. No, I was under investigation at a far greater level than Al Capone or anybody else, probably in the history of our country. These people are sick. They're sick. They're bad people. I ended Joe Biden's weaponization as soon as I got in. I said, I'm going to hit him with the same stuff. But I ended his whole weaponization of our government and removed his hand-picked radical left Marxist prosecutors from the Department of Justice. I was so happy to do that. They weaponize government. They weaponize government. I pardoned hundreds and hundreds of Biden's political prisoners, including Christians, pro-life activists, and the J6 hostages who were treated terribly for years. We even got rid of people like Pete Buttigieg, who did the worst job of anybody in the history of transportation. What a bunch of losers. I revoked the security clearances of Anthony Blinken, Jake Sullivan, John Bryn, James Clapper, and every non-patriot who lied to cover up Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. We took away their security clearance. They're not allowed to enter any government building either. I also revoked Joe Biden's security clearances, the Biden crime family security clearances, and they'll no longer be allowed to access state secrets while selling themselves all around the world. Oh, well. Now, these are bad people. These are bad people. And I do that because this should never be allowed to happen again. What happened to me in this administration, what happened on J6, what happened on all of the things they did that was so bad, should never, ever be allowed to happen again. And on a friendlier note, I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And we are restoring the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley in Alaska. And as you know, many years ago, Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal. And Panama started the process of giving the Panama Canal, by the way, the most expensive development ever in the history of our country, relatively. It would have been $1.5 trillion in today's dollars. 38,000 people died from our country building the Panama Canal. They died from mosquitoes and snakes. Think of it. They paid them 5 times their salary. They brought them to Panama, and they had a 25% chance of dying. They dug under nets so the mosquitoes wouldn't get them. But we lost 38,000, mostly men, laborers, construction workers, because it was such a harsh way to live. It was very brutal. They died. 38,000. Again, it was the most expensive thing we ever built, and they gave it away for $1 to Panama. And last year it made $5 million. Also, one of the most successful projects ever built in terms of money, monetarily. And it's the 8th wonder of the world. It connects 2 oceans, with one being 16 feet higher than the other. Think of it. The Pacific and the Atlantic. Think of what that is. Going through dikes and canals. Amazing what they did. It was really a wonder of the world. We gave it away to America. But we didn't give it to China. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama. We're going to take back the Panama Canal. In a matter of weeks, we have restored America's pride, America's confidence, and America's spirit. According to a brand new poll from Rasmussen, the number of Americans who believe we are in the right track now exceeds the number who think we're in the wrong track. This is the first time in 23 years. That's hard to believe. And we had one poll where we're at 81% right track, wrong track. I guess it depends on who, but that one poll, because Rasmussen's been a good poll, first time in over 20 years that we've had a positive number on that. It's great. November 5th, 2024 will go down as one of the most important days in the history of our country. I'm pointing to Mike Lindell. That man suffered. That man suffered. The FBI thugs went up to him and they took away everything he had. He suffered. And Mrs. Lindell. A great guy. They went after him. It was just, this was a vicious weaponization of the government. But he's all, okay, he stood up. He's all man. He stood up strong. And nothing was going to faze him. And I want to thank you on behalf of everybody, Mike. You put up with a tremendous amount. And he never changed his mind. He said that election of 2020 was rigged. And he's more of a believer today than he was even 4 years ago. But now it's okay to say it, Mike. Now it's fine. When it comes to a day when you can't challenge crooked elections, we've got a real problem in this country. And as of January 20th, 2025, the dark days of high taxes, crushing regulations, rampant inflation, flagrant corruption, government weaponization, and total incompetence, those days are over. They're over. But we cannot stop now. We're going to push forward every single day. In the immortal words of that great American hero, Captain John Paul Jones, I have not yet begun to fight. And neither have you. So together for the next 4 years, we are going to stand strong. We are going to work hard. We are going to fight, and win, win, win.
Amen.
Thank you to CPAC. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. God bless America. Thank you very much. God bless America. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.